All right. Well, a little amateurish, but game started early, and broadcaster not ready to start early, but we are up and going. I am your host, Mr. Kerr, Charles Kerr, Coach Oden, and we are watching Virginia Tech versus Mr. Yuck from CMU. This all works much better when things actually happen when they're supposed to happen. And there's been a little bit more prep time. I am trying to find out which team is in which color. Yeah, it's really that unorganized. But we do have nice little logos. Got logos for the I just texted the drone operator, so hopefully we will be getting a response on who is who. Drone operator was going to try to do a little bit of working on the bandwidth stuff this morning too. I don't know if that was if he had time to do that. Lost our signal from the field for a second here. Hopefully that will be coming back. Okay, so anyways, there we're back. I'm going to just continue to do a little bit of our heroes. Virginia Tech are in dark. Mr. Yuck is in white. Not sure all these sorry about that. 1 second. All right, that has to be, I believe, 2-1 now. All right, and from here on out, one of the reasons I wanted to do this today is I have got my Xbox controller set up now. So now I can control all this stuff from, I'm going to try not to zoom the camera around, but I can control all this stuff from my fingers. So I won't have to be looking away all the time. Hopefully we'll be a little better on my replays than I was today. If you had the privilege of watching our broadcast from yesterday, you know that I missed pretty much every single replay because I wasn't fast enough to get on the control system. But now with Xbox, I just hit this red button right here and bang, I've got a replay. I can decide how long it's going to be. It's always going to be 11 seconds now. And I will be able to spin back through here. All right. There we go. All right, so this is Virginia Tech. Byrne receiving the disc on the pull. Decent pull, I guess. No, actually not a decent pull. It's, by the way, even when I look at this, when I watched this stuff from yesterday, I had much less trouble seeing the disc and the players and things on the actual footage than I did, oh dear, on the, when I'm watching this. But yeah, there's sometimes where it's really not clear to me unless I get really kind of close up to it what's going on. That would be solved in a final production version of this. Okay, that was Yuck bringing it in for to tie the score up. Should have gotten a replay of that, but didn't do it. Next time. All right, I'm going to take this opportunity to just sort of spin through my various setups here and make sure that everything is working. All right, I'm going to do a replay of this. I'm going to do a replay of this. I'm going to do, what the heck? Well, okay. Actually, my replay button isn't working. What the heck? Oh, that's odd. All right, we'll have to solve that problem later. All right, so it's 2-2. Also, don't know what the bandwidth is right here, but this is playing at about 15 frames a second. On my side, it's 30 frames a second, but we are not looking at 15 frames a second or 30 frames a second as these people move around. So I'm going to take a look at what my incoming signal actually looks like. Incoming signal looks slightly better. It's not 30 frames a second either, though. I did try to get a replay of that, but I didn't. Button's not working. What in the heck? Also, listening to some of my commentary from yesterday, I believe that I spent 50% of the time talking about timeouts and why it was a good time for various teams to take a timeout. I'm going to try not to do that again today. However, giving up 3 points right at the beginning of a game, this is not a bad time for a coach to take a signature timeout. This is sort of like a time to get the troops together and sort of get them to refocus. Might need the drone operator. Whoa. Huh. Okay, I think I see part of the problem here. I see part of the problem here. After this, I will be spinning back to my feed of the game because it's quite a bit behind my other feed. It makes me just sort of think that that connection needs to be refreshed. Clearly, Virginia Tech did not take that opportunity to take a quick timeout to just sort of regroup. I love Carnegie Mellon. I love the university. I don't actually know all that much about the team. I've always kind of wondered what it would be like to coach Carnegie Mellon. I mean, it's sort of like that classic situation for college ultimate where, I mean, first of all, you're very much the weak sister of another team in your area. I mean, way back in the day, before the rise of the Pitt dynasty, I'm sure Carnegie Mellon and Pitt were roughly sort of equivalent teams. I think Yuck had a, way back in the day. I mean, like maybe 15 or 20 years ago. I mean, I think they were a sort of a dominant national sort of caliber team. But then that has been very much the place that Pitt took over that spot. So the team that you might be the natural team for you to scrimmage against and have lots of games against is a team that you're honestly probably not going to be all that super competitive with. Um, hard to say. Hard to say that as a Pitt or as a fan of CMU. But let's be real. Okay, so there. All right, there we had a score, and that part is working. I can update the score through my Xbox controller, but I cannot do my replays. Right, I have to periodically drop into and all right. So I'm going to take this opportunity to quickly go and refresh my camera picture here. Of which there appears to be no obvious way to do that, I have to say. All right, well, we will go and run that through. At halftime, I'll take a look at my replay situation and see if I can get that working better. Yeah, I mean, what I'm looking at here on the screen and what I'm doing my commentating on is a good 10 seconds behind where this actual feed is, which was not the case yesterday. I mean, I know it's not. I know there's a little bit of latency, and there's so I'm not expecting it to be exactly what's happening on the field, but that makes me sort of wonder if this feed hasn't gotten a little bit of a bump in it. Wow, that's a risky pass. Okay, that's a nice shot. That was a nice shot. Or I should also, if I can, bump up this time about 3 minutes or so. It's really probably, they say started early. Well, started early, but the cap, if they're going by the cap horn won't be adjusted. So if we're using the cap, by the way, is at 90 minutes, which we didn't realize yesterday, or at least I didn't realize yesterday. So that would mean the cap's not going to get adjusted. It's still going to be at 10:30. So that clock is more or less accurate for that because I did start it right around 9. Yeah, so it's 9:14 right now. We got 9:11. I could bump this up a minute, I guess. And these are consolation rounds. So did the TD tell people to start? Is the TD the TD he'll hit the cap at 10:30. This is such a nice picture. This is so nice. I mean, I know from a fan standpoint, maybe not the greatest footage. I mean, if you really want to look into the whites of the eyes of the players, not getting that from here. Boy, that was a super dump right there. Going back for another super dump. Okay, boys. Nice. Nice patience. Okay, so this is a 2-cup zone. I see this. All the Triangle Youth teams play this. Ring plays this. Basically, the guy who would normally be covering the dump is sitting in the passing lane. There's another person who's sort of freelancing out there. It's a very, very loose zone. I love this. I love this zone. Although I love it better for playing it for like 5 throws and then turning and then going to man. One of the problems with a zone like this, regardless of whether it's ultimately effective, is you're giving the tech handlers just endless. It's like almost like warm up, So I mean, by the time this point is over, they're going to have thrown. They could be throw 5, 10 passes apiece, and they're just sort of like any kind of nerves they had, any kind of. There we go. See, now that would be a great. If I could record that entire sequence. Which would have to make a change in the software for that. I can only have a replay of 11 seconds right now. So what I would love to have is a replay that could go back 60 seconds, and we could look over that entire sequence, because that's some good. That was some very nice work by Byrne. I mean, honestly, good zone play too by CMU. I mean, they achieved what they wanted to achieve. But nice work by the CMU team, which I think does not have a coach right now. I think I read somewhere they only have 15 players, and they don't have a coach. So they've clearly had already coordinated. The entire defense was subbed out there, and they put in a whole new line there, which I'm sure those guys were exhausted. Good play. All right, let's see what the CMU offense has on. In store for us here, but as I was saying, was that now I've lost my. Are you kidding me? I am having bandwidth issues on my end. No. Keeps toggling back and forth between no signal. Not receiving enough video to maintain strong signaling. I'm just going to assume this is going to go away. But no, it keeps toggling back and forth. Sunday morning on the old cable internet. Great play. Great play. All right, while they bring that up, I'm going to go ahead and replay that. Very nice defensive play. Actually, I'm not. I'm going to start before then. All right, but my mouse, anyway, is right over the Create Replay button. Oh, boy. Wow, what a fantastic series from Tech there. From the coffin corner all the way down the field in about 5 throws, everybody wide open. Got to the last thrower, who I'm guessing probably a new player, potentially even a rookie, and he decided to take the shot into the end zone. Maybe another nice defensive play. These Tech boys can play some defense. They have got some kids who play very good man-to-man defense. Who do okay. All right. Well, there's a drone going down for batteries. This is when I wasn't talking about why you should be taking a timeout at various times. I was talking about why you really needed to have a drone with a tether, which was kind of the point behind the entire ABC project. But Still has not really been done, but will get done. Will get done at some point. All right, this is going to be my opportunity to. At least my feed is good here. All right, let's take a look at that play that the Tech defensive player made. All right. So this is Yuck with the disc looking downfield. He sees a guy who does look kind of open, but bam, Mr. Burn guy says no, not in my house. Nope, nope, nope. All right, so I will say Slade has got changing the old batteries down to a science. He could be on a NASCAR pit team. Although, what in the world are we looking at here? What in the world? By the way, I can also do this. I can just go ahead and say, oh, well, here, that we'll take this opportunity to look at just the feed. No, I'm gone. The scoreboard is gone. I see. All right, I have to say, this looks like CMU scored. This looks like a bunch of guys that are getting ready to perhaps Slade has just decided no more droning. He's gonna take over and move it around manually. Possibly he was using up the last of the batter. I don't know what the heck he's doing. There we go. All right. So yeah, unfortunately, pretty clearly, CMU scored. Notice though, I'm not looking at that. Just using the Xbox controller. 22 frames per second. This is going much worse than it did yesterday. 9% CPU, which is fine. By the way, I'm just going to go out on a limb and say that everybody who's watching this has watched Twitch at some point. If you haven't watched Twitch, well, hallelujah, good for you. You've been raised properly by your parents. But assuming you have watched Twitch, I suspect everything I say here and all my mannerisms, and which, by the way, I myself have only watched Twitch for no more than a couple hours in my entire life, and I'm much older than any of you guys. But I've seen enough. I've also, there was a kid from NC State who had reached fame through Twitch. He was Mr. Giant Waffle. And Mr. Giant Waffle had, as an undergrad at State, I believe had 1.5 million Twitch followers. And I made an effort to try to convince Mr. Waffle that perhaps he would like to broadcast some NC State Ultimate games on his Twitch channel. He felt differently. Not going for that idea. Honestly, only met the kid once. Exchanged a few emails with him. He's gone on. I think he did eventually graduate, I believe. I think he's now Mr. Giant Waffle is now a full-time Twitch guy. I think he makes bukus of money doing it. Evidently, people find him funny listening to him on Twitch. Don't really completely get it. And he sounds exactly. It's the same kind of bullshit that I'm saying here the whole time. And I'd like to think that if I had the offer to make, I don't know, let's say $250,000 a year being a Twitch person saying inane stuff the entire time while I played Minecraft, that I would turn down that opportunity. Mr. Waffle decided not to. He took his mechanical engineering degree from State or whatever the hell it was and is now entertaining the masses on Twitch. Good for him, I guess. All right. 5-5. Now I'm going to go ahead and do another quick replay. And I'm going to test a couple things out here. So hang on. I'm going to let this process. Huh. There are some issues here. I mean, honestly, if I could, I would probably just go ahead and reboot this entire system. There's stuff here that I don't really know what's going on. Low CPU. Got nothing more running yesterday than I did today than I did yesterday. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at the instant replay here. First of all, on a plus, now that I'm talking, it's just me. It's not what I was saying before. Okay, I missed that one badly. We will go back. Now I'm going to make sure my overview is working. And it is. Okay, there's the overview. 19 seconds before the next pull. Guys do a very good job actually of pulling within 90 seconds. I appreciate that. And if you had this as if the drone was really just nothing more than a supplemental camera that you could replay, 90 seconds between points, or what is it really? Actually 85 seconds between points, would give you time to take a look at, say 30 seconds, 40 seconds of the previous point from the drone, not from the 50-yard line camera. And if you were interested in doing a breakdown of the game, would be a fantastic opportunity for a coach. I mean, can you imagine Brian Jones being able to do reviews, to be able to do analysis of college games from a drone in between points? Oh my goodness! And he could be being okay, Slade. All right, I'll tell you what. I don't know what you're getting paid for this. I don't. But you just every time you screw up, I'm docking you $1. So it's whatever you were getting paid minus $1. There they go. So yeah, I mean, he would just absolutely go to town, and man, it'd be fascinating. I mean, to be able to listen to, a good coach. How about Stanley? Yeah, Stanley. I'd love to listen to Stanley talking, breaking down college footage in real time, or on a replay during a real time game. I mean, screw Peyton Manning. Give me Stanley breaking this stuff down. Well, this game's going along at a better clip than yesterday's. I mean, if by better clip I mean not as many turnovers as there was yesterday. Boy, there were some high turnover points in that game between Byrne and Indiana. Alright, so at halftime, I'm going to see why I cannot create my replays with my Xbox controller. Boy, not looking forward to debugging that, to be honest. Update read. That works. That's the damnedest thing. I mean, that was the number one reason I wanted to have the Xbox controller running, was that I could be better at getting replays. Okay. Okay. That is a dangerous pass. That's the pass that CMU is hoping to see there, and he almost pulled it off, but nice alert play by the CMU help defense, which again I forgot to get a replay of, but if I had, we would be looking at that right now as they march the disc back to the line. Yeah, I will go ahead and figure out why I cannot do my replays. I might actually go ahead and halftime. Man, I can't. I'm tempted to reset the entire box. Every text guy solution to everything. I'm just going to go and reboot. All right, let's get back to the analysis part here. So what is CMU playing here? It's not a stack, not a classic vertical stack. This is their D line that's playing here. Could be a vertical stack with just lots of. No, this is a horizontal stack of some sort. Yeah, it's a horizontal stack, and they are running guys deep constantly, cycling people deep. Good. I will also reach out to reach out. I love that term. I will reach out to Mr. Slade and see if confirm that I have the right score. I mean, we'll know soon enough at halftime, I guess. At least we'll know that somebody's gotten to 8. Okay. All right. If, assuming my score is right here, and I'm assuming it is, that makes it 7-5 CMU. So going into half, we'll also say now that between watching Burn for a game and a half, watching CMU for a half, watching Indiana for an entire game, I believe the total number of timeouts I've seen, I think I think there might have been one. I think somebody took a timeout yesterday. It wasn't actually really clear. No, I don't think they did. No, they didn't. Yes, I think 0 timeouts. I mean, I know sometimes teams just sort of make like little side agreements that they're not going to take timeouts because they're on a really, really tight time caps and really tight or really tight round times. But this is a 2-hour round. I mean, this is good. This is a 90-minute. This is a 90-minute cap. I mean, even in in real club and nationals ultimate, the cap is usually 110. So, we're not, we're at 100. So. Now, interestingly, they've switched over, thank God, finally to +1. So it's the cap +1. So when we get to the cap, it's going to be the high score, just +1. Very simple, easy to understand. Only took 10 years, 15 years to move over to this much more rational system, but did happen. Man, I hated our soft cap, half cap, hard cap stuff. God almighty. I mean, that was just an example right there of just how slowly certain stuff gets done in Ultimate. It's like, oh boy. I'm going to get the recording of that. That right there was some heads-up defense by the Yuck guys. Be interesting to look over that again. I know Burn has got about 19 players. I know some of their, well, certainly the drone operator is probably their best and most experienced player. So not only is he not out on the field, but I think his wise head is not out on the field, which is a problem. I'm almost never getting 30 frames per second here. Why is that? Okay, nice. That was a turn? Did he not catch that? That must have been out of bounds. I don't know. I said yesterday, and I think this is so true. From this angle, you get the big picture, but that's all you get is the big picture. All you get to see is the. Oh, I'm a fan of that. I'm a big fan of that. Nice play by Byrne. I think for a variety of reasons, the get the disc on the turn and jack it is a good play. If for nothing else, I mean, during the transition, on the next transition, everybody's going deep immediately, and going to leave yourself gigantic undercuts. Okay, boys. Okay, this is exciting. This is like little kids soccer, where the ball is like sort of in the middle of the field the entire time, and it's like kickball. You know, you kick it as far as you can down one end of the field, and then they get the ball and they make one pass or they dribble twice, and then they kick it as far back down the other. Oh my lord! Take a timeout. Somebody take a timeout. What do you need here, guys? Take a timeout. Take a timeout. This is. I think you're going into. I think you're going into halftime as well. Okay. Well, I don't know what halftime. I'm going to say that was halftime. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong, but I believe that's got to be halftime. Oops. There we go. Got to fix that little software work there. Yeah, there we go. I've coached teams and stuff where there's like a frisbee that has like a kitty in it that buys the beer, and when you turn a disc over or you make other certain kind of stupid plays, um, you have to put $1 in the kitty. You put it in the frisbee, and after that one play, after that one series right there, I mean there'd be a little pyramid. There'd be a pile of dollar bills in the disc. Holy I don't know if I can swear or not. I shouldn't swear. But that was hideous. All right, I'm going to switch to halftime. I'm going to go get some more coffee. I'm going to play an advertisement for our heroes at Virginia Tech. What I'd really love to do is take that drone and put that in the middle of the Tech puddle right now. They got a little soul searching to do. They've got to decide before they drive back the 13 hours to Tech, or whatever. It's not 13 hours, but the 9-hour drive back to Tech. It's not even 9 hours. It's probably 5 hours. Before they drive back, they got to decide whether they're going to try to win this game or not. All right, I will be right back. Yeah, go with the old Virginia Tech promo.
This is home. Always has been, always will be. A community that stretches far beyond the mountains of Southwest Virginia. Built on Hokie stone. Bound by maroon and orange. Once you're here, your family.
The brothers Edmonds now have both been selected in the first round.
You've got to want to get here. You don't get to Blacksburg by accident. But you never leave on purpose. A part of it stays with you forever. For those who have passed, we revere our history. We grab our lunch pail. We go to work. We find a way.
Tyrod did it, Mikey! Tyrod did it!
For those to come, we never back down.
Mark with the stick back on the other side! The Hokies are Jensen and Blacksburg, Mikey!
We define toughness. We protect our home.
The Hokies will stonewall him there!
We reach for excellence. We build our future. Start jumping. Exit light. Enter night. Welcome home.
Carolina isn't just a campus, a team, or an alma mater. It's a place where inspiration takes flight and lands in far-flung corners. A place that isn't confined to classrooms, but mobilized by challenges. One that leads people down paths unknown and creates kinships with those unseen. That's because Carolina isn't just a place you go. It's a place you take with you.
The Jinx Cam is a 25-foot tower cam system used to film elevated game footage. The system is highly compactable and can be transported from tournament to tournament and field to field with ease. The Jinx Cam is essentially a one-man production truck able to support live streaming of games, instant replays, and updatable scores. The elevated game footage give a bird's eye view for all of the ultimate action. The control system allows for a quick and smooth transition from end zone to end zone during pulls and hucks. Due to the height and angle of the Jinx Cam, coaches, players, and fans are given a full field view of play formation and development. And lastly, it's great for highlights.
Your time is up, my time is now. You can't see me, my time is now. It's the franchise where I'm shining now. You can't.
The following tone is a reference tone of 700 hertz.
Not only did I get some coffee, I got a bowl of cereal. That's my tribute to Jared, who was part of the Zoom, the ABC drone team. And every time we'd have a Zoom call, without fail, Jared would be eating something. Usually like just some kind of big old snack or something, or dinner or something. Not very professional on Jared's part. Remind me, there's some movie that I think it's a series of movies where Brad Pitt is, every time he's on screen, he's eating something. Burn After Reading, I know, is one of them. Not a very good movie, by the way. But all right, Slade confirming. I do have the score right. That's good. That's sort of the minimal part of my job, is to make sure I have the right score. Okay. Let's not focus so much on this actual game. Let's focus on what we're seeing here from various formations. Take it one step at a time. Soon, yeah. This is just your high motion vertical stack, I believe. Talking earlier a little bit about how much I like Carnegie Mellon as a university, and how much I've sort of admired their ultimate team. I mean, it's just tough. I mean, it's not first of all, obviously, it's not a gigantic state school like a Virginia Tech or a NC State or a UNC. So they don't have a gazillion undergrads that are just sort of floating around that you can try to recruit and turn into ultimate players. I mean, things have changed a little bit, over the last 10 years or something, where you've got, much more well-established youth programs, and you can start to kind of recruit guys in. But Carnegie Mellon, the kids who get into Carnegie Mellon, not your run-of-the-mill average guys, you know what I mean? They are not going to be, it's not going to be, really what I'd like to do, and I'm not naming names, but talking about certain UNC players here, for instance. I would really like to go to school because primarily I want to play ultimate frisbee, and I can get into UNC. Again, we're talking mostly about kids in state here. And I will find some kind of major, and I will have 4 or 5 years of really enjoyable ultimate frisbee during that time. That is not going to ever happen at Carnegie Mellon, ever. You may really like ultimate frisbee. You may be really good at it. You may have played a lot as a, oh my goodness, that is a heads-up play. These are, I have to say, I don't want to get any kind of stereotype, but boy, there has been some heads-up defense by the Carnegie Mellon kids here. That's because they're all geniuses. tryouts, they have a Wonderlic test for the tryouts for Mr. Yuck, where if you don't score over 32, I don't know, I have no idea what the scoring is on the Wonderlic, but yes, if you can't score over a 32 on your Wonderlic, you can't make Mr. Yuck. That's it. Sorry. I'm less enthusiastic about the dead disc immediate huck, unless you've got a really good mismatch. Okay. Did this great project with Craig Poppelman, where we used these gigantic Monte Carlo simulations where we would run millions of games based on the percentage chances of a O-line or D-line scoring it's just, the generic college team, which I believe, if memory serves, the O-line score is 64% or something like that, and we were able to figure that out by scraping all kinds of information from the USA website on scores from nationals, and using that, we would then do Monte Carlo stuff where we would figure out what the chances were of a team winning from various score positions with various playing to various caps and various scores. So, for instance, you would say if you were 3 points away from the whatever the score was going to be, it's like you were playing a 13 and you were up 12-9. I mean, no. Okay, here we go. All right, so here's here's Byrne playing a side stack, and I will circle back to my Poppelman story in a second here. All right, that's good. That was an unfortunate turnover, but that was a nice looking series by Byrne. When they look at that on the film, they will be pleased with the way that developed. That was a lot of nice, sharp cuts where guys were wide open. Wow, that play, which by the way, nice. Don't know how much wind there is again today here, but there was one scuba the entire time yesterday. No hammers. So I'm guessing there was a little bit of wind, although it didn't really seem to be impacting the play that much. That I think is pretty sure. Of course, we missed the first 2 points, but that I'm pretty sure is the first hammer of this game. So I think we can probably surmise too and get a replay of that. But I think pretty good chance that might have been into a slight wind. Kind of died at the end there. So back to my Poppelman story. So if you're playing first to 13 and one team is up 12-9 and they are receiving the disc, I mean, obviously, that team is overwhelmingly likely to win the game. And I mean, just making this up, I don't have the table in front of me, but let's say wait a second. Did somebody take a timeout there? They sure did. Whoa. Could have been from either team, but oops. Okay, second half. Could have been from either team, but I'm actually going to guess that was CMU taking that timeout because they've only got 15 players and they're exhausted, and they're just going to take a little bit of a breather there. And they were quick to run off the side of the field. Yeah, I bet you that was a CMU. Timeout. I'm assuming it's one timeout per half plus a floater. It could be zero timeouts per half, as far as I've seen in these games. That's all they need. Hey, coach, how many timeouts do we have out? Oh, 0. No more timeouts. Okay, all right. Here we go. So back to the Poppleman calculation. So if it's 12-9 and it's first to 13 and you're receiving, you're going to win that game, right? I mean, you can just intuitively know that you're overwhelming favorite to win. And I think the Poppleman calculation probably was like, you had a 97% chance of winning at that point. I mean, the other team's going to have to score, 5 times in a row. But if it's 10-10, first to 15 you're receiving, what are the chances of you winning? Well, that's probably more like 55%. And this had a gigantic table of every possible score combination, all run out to 100,000 times, and as I say, 100,000 per score scenario. And the cap was also factored in, so it's like this 3-dimensional chart. And it was fascinating. And it's something that very few players actually think about. I mean, I initially got involved with it because I had sort of like, just based on my experience coaching, I said, if you're down 3 and you are pulling, you have no more than a 5% chance of winning that game. And it didn't matter what the score was. If you were down 3-0, well, down 4-1, okay. If you're down 4-1 and you're about to pull, or even I think I even said that even if you were receiving, if you were down 3-0, you were just not going to win that game. You were down to like having a 5% chance to win that game, and it turns out not quite right, but not too far off. And you look at coaching, you look at players, and the score is 10-8. You're pulling to the team that's got 10. I mean, you are like right on. I don't know, maybe a better example is it's 10-8. You're pulling to the team that's got 8. If you can bring that out to 11-8, I mean, you're going to win that game. I mean, that's as good a time to put in your kill line as any time. Oops. Slade. You owe another $1, Slade. Pull it out. Come on. There we go. Kind of a miserable day in Raleigh. I don't know what it's like or in Durham. I wonder what it's like down in Myrtle Beach. I'm guessing maybe a little bit warmer, but may not be the ideal weather for droning. That's a nice throw. That's a hard throw. All right. I'm going to record that. Bang, bang, bang. All right, give me a second here. We're going to replay that, mainly to show that initial break. nice to have a handler that's got that throw in his or her arsenal. Okay, so here comes a throw. No, oh, nah. Evidently didn't record it far enough. All right. That's just basically a swing continuation up the line. That's a good, nice time cut by the Burn guy. All right, and we're live again here. All right, as unlikely as it is for Burn to pull this off at 11-7, let's see if they can do it. Let's see if they can turn this into a game here. In the battle of the tech heavyweights. Yeah, I don't think there's any doubt. The wind is slightly going away from the camera here. That's what it was doing yesterday, and I'm pretty sure that's what we're looking at here. I mean, Myrtle Beach, the wind is pretty consistent. It's always coming off the ocean, so it's going to be going down away here. Tech has got 3 or 4 people who, to my eye, are very good defenders, especially on shorter sort of in cuts or reset cuts. I'm not sure how good their defense is downfield, though. I mean, there certainly seem to be a lot of teams that look like they can exploit whatever they're seeing. All right, let's take a look at that play quickly. Okay. Again, this is much too. I need this to be 30 seconds long, and I need to be able, because look what I can do here. Right here, I can say, okay, wait, whoops, nope, stop there. Oops, too late. Is it too late? No, there we go. All right, so now I can just start looking at the. I can go frame by frame here. Middle of the disc or middle of the field. We got a vertical stack pretty much. Left-handed backhand. I don't know if that was an offhand or whether that was. He's just naturally left-handed. That's not. That ain't helping. That ain't helping Burns. Chances here. Okay, so now Burn back on offense. Man, I would have gone right back to that side stack. That looked pretty damn good. Oh, well, actually, yuck playing zone here. So they're back to this. No, this is not the zone they were playing before. This is a new zone. This is like a 2-man cup zone, 3-man, loose 3-man cup zone. Boy, Burn looked so comfortable against zones. If I was Burn, I'd be very happy every time I saw. Wow. Yeah, I mean that's magic. That's just beautiful. That was beautiful from. I'm going to go out on a limb and say You're muted? No, I'm not. What? Okay. I'm going to go out on a limb and say we will not be seeing any more zone from Carnegie Mellon in this game. That's the second or third time that Tech, just very methodically ran through their zone. I don't think there's whatever win there is. It's just there's not a lot. All right, how many people are actually watching this mess? There are. Okay, good. Only 7 people watching. Excellent. Excellent. That was a travel, by the way. Travel. And again, another long shot down. This may be Carnegie Mellon's MO on offenses. Maybe it really is just an absolute huckaway team, or they're just saying the burn downfield defenders are not scaring me, and we're going to just shoot it. Ooh, did he catch that? Maybe not. Oh, that was lucky. Pretty clearly, Slade did not figure out how to zoom from the drone yesterday. Mr. Kerr's instructions on how to do it were, in fact, right on. That's unfortunate. I've seen a lot. I have no idea what the sort of the demographics are of the Burn team. Like a lot of other teams, they've missed sort of like a year of recruiting and playing. Maybe almost 2 years of missing recruiting and playing and honing throws due to COVID. And that, I think we can start to see that in some of these throws. I think the kiddos who are they're more experienced players probably used COVID to go out and hone their throws. The new kids, though, not so sure they got. I think they just lost a lot of time on developing their throws. All right, and we'll run this little VT ad.
Carolina isn't just a campus, a team, or an alma mater. It's a place where inspiration...
Did I not kill that UNC advertisement yesterday? What in the world? That's what I want to do. Even if it's only 5 seconds of advertisement for UNC. That's what I want to do. I want some random kid saying, where am I going to go to? Where am I going to go to school to play Ultimate? Say, oh, there's a UNC ad. Maybe I'll go play. I'll go play with Darkseid. All right. Okay. Well, the CMU guys have gone back to their actually pretty shaky zone, and again, Burn is pretty much just cutting it up. Ooh, ooh, that was maybe that's maybe the pass he wanted to make. That was not the technique or the pass he wanted. Not where he wanted that disc to go. All right. All right. Now we're back to a man. They've gone back to a vertical stack. We're playing a vertical stack here for Tech, or for Virginia Tech. Clear out, clear out, clear out. Oh boy. Oh boy. I mean, by not taking a timeout there, you're just sort of sending a signal to the rest of your team, sort of saying, all right, we're moving on to the next game. And I mean, okay, it's 13 to 8. Come back, and this is unlikely, but the opportunity to have some quality points at the end of this, get them on film. There's another hammer. There we go. Yeah, can't be much wind. You've just lost another $1, Slade. Well, I gotta say, honestly, this Yuck team just doesn't looks pretty decent to me. I mean, they've got some weapons. What was their scores yesterday? I know they're 0-3. Don't know what pool they were in. Don't know how they did. Maybe they got some reinforcement. No. I was thinking, oh, maybe some other kids came down to play just on Sunday. I think the chances of somebody driving down from, maybe somebody flew, but the chance of somebody driving down from Pittsburgh to Myrtle Beach, that is a 13-hour drive, to play one day of Ultimate when your team was 0-3 the day before. I don't know what the Poppelman calculation is on that, but that would be little. Very small percentage of that happening. So I am guessing we got 15 guys in white here, but maybe they're a little bit more excited about this consolation pool than our guys in black. All right, let's see what Tech has in store here. We're going to a side stack. Good. All right, like to see this on film again. All right, there's cut number 1. Good. All right, we have now morphed from a side stack to a vertical stack. So basically, it's like one or two throws on the side stack. I guess, if the first throw is there, they continue to run down the field with the side stack. If it's not there, then they're going to go to a vertical stack. That makes sense. Well, there we go. Oop. -$4. I'm being generous there. That could have been -4 and -5. That would have been, he would have been just about up to a nasty 6-pack at that point. problem with the drone. The drone has a small amount of latency. So if you go in, I've got bad news for my boys and for our viewers. That is the game. Safe to say, nobody's probably going to be too excited about seeing the film on that. All right. Well, based on everything I've seen Burn play with Slade, and I've seen Burn play without Slade, and looks to me like Slade is their Callahan candidate right there. Bang. All right, we are about to wrap her up here. Thank you all, and this is sort of a warm-up for hopefully doing this again in a couple weeks at this was Easterns Qualifiers, and we would do this again at College Easterns, which is, as I say, a couple weeks from here, and we'll get to watch some more Burn Ultimate. All right, have a good afternoon. It's only 10:15. You've got the whole rest of the day. All right, bye bye.